Hey guys, so before I begin this video, I just kind of want to say, for most people, it's either you believe in paranormal and weird stuff or you don't. And there's not always that much in between. So I know if you're a skeptic, like my dad is a huge skeptic, there's not really much I can say that will convince you. You could be looking at something dead in the face and still think it's not real. At least that's my experience with some skeptics. So if that's how you're gonna be, I mean, I don't really see what the point is in even watching this video. If you do believe, I hope you believe me. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'd love to hear some input on it. And just please be kind in the comment section. So enjoy! So today I decided to do something a little bit different for my channel. And it kind of makes me a little bit nervous, but I am going to do a video about my house, which I believe there is a possibility it may be haunted. And it is indeed the house I'm sitting in right now. A lot of the things I'm going to talk about aren't extremely recent because I've been away at college this whole time. Well, not this whole time. Pretty much since August I've been at college, except for like the 2 months that I was here for winter break. And so, except for one thing, I haven't really experienced all of these things much because I just got home about 2 weeks ago. But I do have a list on my phone of things that have been happening. And no one else in my family really believes that it's haunted except possibly my sister. But my sister literally will pee her pants if she even sees a ghost hunter show is on. So even if it was definitively haunted, she would never want to admit that because it would freak her out too much. But yeah, I don't think it's anything really threatening. It's just kind of creepy, and a lot of things take place in this room. So I don't know if it's just I'm extremely like sensitive to the things that happen to me, especially while I'm in here, or if I just take note of it, or if it's just this room that stuff seems to happen in. But I'm gonna get down to it. I believe that this all started when I was younger. I got really interested in Ouija boards, and I did not know at that point that Ouija boards were, whatever you want to believe, portals, entries for demons, like sinful, just all around, that they bring out bad energy and bad spirits, and that these evil entities can pretend to be good spirits and stuff like that. My mom had played with some Ouija boards when she was younger, and she had some really weird things happen, but never anything like super sinister. And a lot of my friends knew about Ouija boards, but we didn't know that it was bad until like years after I had already thrown it out. So my mom and I and a few friends had used the Ouija board in my house. We actually had 2 different Ouija boards. One was borrowed from a neighbor, and it was older, and it was like the classic wood Ouija board, and it was in this box that was just falling apart. And I can tell the whole story of the Ouija board later, but long story short, not that much happened. But as far as I can remember, I don't remember things happening in my house before this point. Afterwards, yeah, but I can't remember anything from when I was super young that spooked me, unless it was scary enough that I just completely forgot about it. The first thing that really happened that I can remember is my sister was running in our basement, and it's an unfinished basement, and it has a lot of exposed beams and stuff, and there's just the treadmill is down there. So my sister was running on the treadmill, and we heard her scream. And my parents went down there, and she was running up in the process, and they were like, what happened? What happened? And she said something pulled my ponytail, and she was hysterical. And she legitimately felt someone yank her ponytail, and she was wrecked. So my parents were trying to calm her down, and they looked, they were like, nothing's down there. So they were saying that they thought that her ponytail must have gotten caught on like a beam or a pipe or something down there, which I guess could be possible. But at the time, she wasn't that old, and she's still not the tallest person. I'm 5'10", she's 5'6", and when I run in the treadmill in the basement, the beams are still about that high above my head, which is close. But when you think about it, yeah, your ponytail swings as you're running, but getting hooked over a beam would just kind of feel like her hair got stuck, and she said that it felt like she was physically tugged back. And now, I wasn't there. I can't tell you what exactly it felt like. She refuses to talk about it because she doesn't want to think that her house is haunted. Anyway, oh yeah, this light out in this hallway right here. If this goes off, I'm gonna be so freaked out. But that my mom claims that it's a faulty switch. That could be possible. I really don't know. We have had electrical things that I'm going to be telling you about. But that light never used to have problems, and it doesn't really have problems anymore. But there was a short while that it would be 3 o'clock in the morning and all of a sudden that light would turn on in the hallway. And we'd be like, what the heck? Or you'd turn on the light and you'd walk upstairs and go to walk back down, the light would turn off. And it's not like you'd leave and the light would turn off while you were away and come back. No, the light would turn on and go off while you were in there, and the switch would not change, just normal. But it was definitely creepy because on several occasions in the middle of the night or at random hours of the day, that light would just turn on, which I could understand if it was faulty, if it kept turning off, but I mean, I'm not extremely well versed in electrical wiring and stuff, so I don't know, maybe it could. This is just weird things. I'm not saying it's necessarily a ghost is flipping the light switch. A lot of things are with lights. I have this simple human mirror right here, and it is a motion sensor, so when you go in front of it, it turns on, and when you go away for a little bit, it turns off. And it's like if I have my hand out here, it's not going to turn on. It's like more of a proximity thing. Like if you get closer, it turns on because it's supposed to sense when a face is in front of it. And I got it at a garage sale for like $5. So when I first got it and had it in my room, I thought maybe it was defective and that's why they were selling such an expensive mirror for so cheap. I don't know, they had the wrong charger with it, we ordered a new charger and everything. But this light would constantly, in the middle of the night, be turning on. And it would be on my desk where I am right now, and my bed is over there. So I'd be sleeping and this blinding light would come on while I'm sleeping. It would literally stream out of my room and be so super bright that my parents would wake up and be like, what the heck's going on? But yeah, so it would just come on in the middle of the night, and I thought, because my room is almost always a mess, I thought there's just stuff in front of it, or it has a faulty sensor or something. And there were even some nights that my door would be closed because I used to sleep in my sister's bed so the dog could sleep with me, because I have a twin, she is a queen, and my dog is a huge space hog. But I used to sleep in my sister's bed in her room right down there, and this door would be closed, or like mostly closed, and the light would come on. And the light would come on so bright, my mom would get up and she'd be like, Amanda, why is your light on? Who turned on that light? I'd be like, Mom, I'm not in the room. I'm not in there. And we'd come in and there was nothing we could do to turn off this light. It would just stay on. So I had to like physically press the off button, which you're not supposed to have to do with this light because it's only supposed to light up when someone's there. So I thought it's just a faulty sensor, whatever, until I got to college. And I brought this mirror with me to college because it's great. And in the time it was in my dorm room for 6-7 months, not once did it turn on without someone's face being in front of it or someone brushing up against it. Not one single time did this light go off in the middle of the night. So that's when I was like, it's creepy. I don't like that. In the 2 weeks I've been home, it has not done it. It did it once over winter break, I remember, because it was sitting right here next to me while I was in bed. But the light went on and I took a Snapchat of it. I don't think I saved it. I wish I saved it. But I took a Snapchat of it and I said, the light is on and no one's there. Because I had told people about this and they were like, ah, that's freaky, get an exorcism, move out, blah blah. And I was like, yep, I'm about to. So that's the really recurring thing that happens so much. Okay, another freaky electrical thing. One night I was having a sleepover and I was sleeping downstairs with my friend and I woke up, everything was normal. We watched like a movie until probably like 3 o'clock in the morning and then finally went to sleep. Woke up, everything was normal, went down for breakfast, and my mom was like, hey Amanda, did anything weird happen last night? And I was like, what do you mean? And she said, did any lights come on when you woke up? And I was like, no, everything that we left on was on and everything that was turned off was turned off. Why would you ask that? And she said, well, there must have been a power surge or something because at 3 o'clock in the morning, Dad and I woke up and all the lights in our room had turned on and our TV was turned on to static. Oh yeah, it must have been a power surge, which, like I said, I don't know that much about electrical issues and what could happen, but I know power surges can cause the lights to brighten, it can fry electronics and stuff, but I've never heard of power surges switching things on, especially like TVs and stuff, which I'm fairly sure have inner components that are supposed to stop surges from frying it. And it's a newer TV, it's not very old. But that was just a weird thing. In this hallway right here, one night I went down to get some water, and I like refilled my water downstairs, and I started walking back up, and I get to the top of the stairs and I kind of just stopped, because this is gonna sound insane, but I felt like I ran into someone. It was like the darkness at this part of the hallway was way darker and more solid than the darkness that was all around me. I was looking down at my phone or something, and I literally stopped like I ran into a wall. And I couldn't really explain it, it just felt like heavy in front of me. And then I turned on my phone flashlight and nothing was there. And I kind of just shook it off, like I was a little freaked out, but nothing was there. Maybe I was just distracted because I was on my phone. I thought I saw something, but I didn't. I don't know. But lately, I have been having really weird dreams or trouble falling asleep, and almost like a sleep paralysis type thing. Oh my god, I have goosebumps. So the first instance of sleep paralysis, or what I believe to be sleep paralysis, I don't even know what this was. I've never felt anything like it before then, and it really freaked me out. But I was laying right there in bed, and I was asleep, and I don't know if I woke up or if I was still in a dream, but I was laying right there, and I was like, what time is it? What's going on? And I really, really wanted to grab my phone to look at what time it was, but I felt so heavy, and like I was trying to move my arm and just swing my arm open to grab my phone, and I couldn't do it. And I remember even like my eyes felt so heavy that it was like I was fighting to keep my eyes open and stay awake. I was like, why can't I stay awake? Why can't I stay awake? It's like when you're super tired and have to go to an 8 a.m. and you're like, yeah. But I kind of looked down to right here on the floor, like just right behind where I'm sitting, because I have a really small room. And my room, this is why I think it wasn't a dream. My room was like really messy that night, and I remember it was so realistic to exactly how my room looked that day. Everything to a T was where it was when I fell asleep. Normally when I imagine my room in dreams, my dream world is not exactly like what's going on here. Like the walls would be pink or something would be weird. This was exactly as I had fallen asleep to. What freaked me out was, unlike when I fell asleep, there was someone in here, except they had their back to me, and I think they were wearing some like white or gray scraggly thing, and I think it was a girl, but like her hair was kind of long and just like a washed out color, like really devoid of color. And the scariest thing was their back was to me, and they were hugging their knees with their head down. And I was paralyzed. I just remember looking at them and being like, please don't turn around, please don't turn around, please don't turn around, please don't look at me. Like, I just looked at them, and all I could think was like, if they look at me, what am I gonna do? I heard them sniffle, almost like they were crying or something, and I remember they lifted their head up, and I remember nothing after that. So I guess I fell back asleep, or the dream ended, or whatever it was. And prior to that, I had never, ever had any kind of sleep paralysis, and I rarely remember dreams, and especially not like that vividly. Lately, I've had a ton of trouble sleeping ever since I got home from school, and that's mainly because of stress and like personal issues. But the other night was literally the worst night. I was so exhausted, and I was just trying to sleep, and I kept on just drifting off to sleep, and then I'd wake up, and I couldn't figure out what exactly would wake me up, but when I woke up, I was just like in a state of terror. I don't know why I was so afraid, but I woke up terrified. and I woke up like something had woken me up that I couldn't remember, or like someone had woken me up, and I completely felt, I was facing the wall and I felt like there was someone standing right over my shoulder in the spot right about where I had seen the person with their back to me. And I just kind of, you know how when someone is standing behind you, you get that like sixth sense where you can feel that someone is there. Like even if your eyes are closed, even if you don't expect or there's no reason for anyone to be behind you, you can feel it, you can sense it, you just know. I just knew that someone was behind me and I did not want to look. So I kind of just closed my eyes and just drifted back to sleep. But it must have been like 5 times in the night I woke up. So I think that's it for now. If other stuff happens, I will definitely make more like stories on this, because obviously I live in the house. I'm going to be here the whole summer until I go back to college. I know some people do like ghost hunting things in their house when things like this happen. I don't know if I want to do that, because I don't know, I really don't think I want to know. Don't know if I want to acknowledge it or get proof of it, because especially since so much happens in my room, like if I go to sleep at night, all I'm going to be thinking about is if something showed up, whatever it showed up. Like all I could think of is that thing's in here. I'll consider it. I might do it if people want to see that. I might do it right before I leave for college. So peace out. See you in 3 months. I could possibly make a video on my mom's paranormal experiences, because she's had a lot. And like the experience with the Ouija board and stuff, if that's something that people would be interested in. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know what you think. If you think my house is haunted, if you think there's a logical explanation, if you agree with my parents' explanations, I don't know. I'm not saying that it is haunted, but I'm saying there's a lot of weird stuff that happens, and it just seems like it's weirder than most houses that things happen in. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed, and see you guys later.